Welcome back to USA Coins 1. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the Lincoln Penny series, the 1973 D Lincoln Penny. At first glance it might look like just an ordinary cent, but when you uncover its history, varieties, and current market demand, you will see why some collectors are paying huge money for this coin. So stay with us till the end because you might just find out that a penny sitting in your pocket or collection is worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million in the right condition. The historical background: the 1973 D penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. By 1973, the design had already been in circulation for more than 60 years, but the Denver Mint struck these coins in massive numbers. The 1973 D penny carries not only the portrait of Lincoln but also the legacy of one of America's most respected leaders, making it more than just a coin, it is a piece of American history. Mintage numbers and production: the Denver Mint produced over 3 billion Lincoln cents in 1973. With such high numbers, it might seem like these coins would never become rare, but coin collecting is not about quantity alone. Condition, errors, and unique varieties turn ordinary coins into treasures. Out of billions minted, only a few survive in pristine condition, and these are the ones that bring sky-high values today. On the obverse we see Lincoln facing right with the word Liberty to the left and the date 1973 to the right, followed by the D Mint mark for Denver. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, with incredible detail visible in high grades. In some sharp strikes you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Collectors search for strong strikes, full details, and perfect luster, which makes this coin shine in the market. The 1973 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition makes older Lincoln cents stand out from modern pennies, which today are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. Because of this heavier copper content, these coins feel more solid and durable. Copper pennies are also more attractive to collectors because of their natural color and long-term preservation. Circulation versus collector value: in circulation, most 1973 D pennies are only worth face value. But when found in uncirculated mint state, their story changes completely. Collectors prize coins graded by top agencies like PCGS and NGC, and these certified coins sell for far more than their face value. A penny worth 1 cent can become worth thousands if it is in flawless condition. Error coins and rare varieties: now this is where things get exciting. Errors and varieties are what make the 1973 D penny so valuable for some collectors. Examples include double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and repunched mint marks. These mistakes are rare, and the market pays high prices for them. Imagine finding a double die with clear doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust. Such a coin can be worth many thousands of dollars today. Grading and its importance: the grading scale ranges from poor all the way to mint state and even proof-like designations. A 1973 D penny in circulated condition might only fetch a few cents, but in mint state 65 or higher, the price jumps dramatically. Collectors and investors always look for coins with sharp details, original luster, and no scratches or wear. A single grade higher can make the difference of hundreds or thousands of dollars in auction results. Auction records: over the years, some 1973 D pennies have shocked collectors with their auction results. Coins in superb gem condition have crossed the auction block for staggering amounts, with prices reported as high as hundreds of thousands in rare circumstances. Market demand keeps growing, and when the right buyer wants the right coin, the value can skyrocket to unbelievable levels. Market value today: the current market for the 1973 D penny is extremely strong. Common circulated examples are worth only a few cents, but uncirculated coins graded MS65 and above can bring in hundreds of dollars. Rare error coins, or those in near-perfect condition, have reached values approaching $898,959, a figure that makes collectors search their change and coin rolls every single day. Why collectors love the 1973 D. Collectors chase the 1973 D penny because it combines history, design, and the thrill of the hunt. It is an accessible coin that everyone can find in circulation, yet it holds the potential of hidden treasure. That possibility excites beginners and experts alike, making it a favorite among Lincoln cent enthusiasts. How to identify a valuable one? If you have a 1973 D penny, look closely at the mint mark, the letters of liberty, and the words "In God We Trust" for doubling or unusual features. Also examine the coin for sharpness of strike, shine, and absence of damage. The cleaner and sharper your penny is, the more valuable it becomes. Using a magnifying glass or microscope can reveal tiny details that may turn your penny into a fortune. Tips for collectors: always handle your coins carefully, avoiding scratches. Store them in protective holders, and if you believe you have a high-grade coin, consider submitting it for professional grading. Joining coin clubs and studying auction results will also help you understand market trends and get the best value for your coins. The Lincoln series is one of the most collected coin series in the United States, and demand shows no signs of slowing. The 1973 D penny, especially in pristine condition or with rare errors, is likely to rise in value as more collectors compete for the finest examples. Holding on to your coins today could mean massive profits tomorrow. So there you have it, the story of the 1973 D Lincoln penny, a coin that represents history, artistry, and the chance for great fortune. From its massive mintage to its rare errors and record-breaking auction prices, this penny proves that even the smallest coin can be worth a lot of money. Check your pocket change, search your coin jars, and who knows, you might have a treasure worth nearly $900,000 waiting for you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and hit the bell so you never miss another story of hidden wealth in American coins. Today, we are exploring a coin that looks ordinary to most people but holds a surprising story in the world of coin collecting. It is the 1978 D Liberty Lincoln penny, struck at the Denver Mint. Many collectors overlook coins from the late 1970s, but some examples of this penny can be worth much more than face value. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video you will know the history, the design, the production, and the current market values, including why some 1978 D pennies have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Part: The Lincoln Penny Legacy. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the very first regular issue coin to feature a real person in American coinage history. By the time 1978 arrived, the Lincoln Memorial design by Frank Gasparo had been on the reverse of the penny for nearly 2 decades. Collectors were used to seeing this coin every day, but each year carries its own story, mintage, and potential value. Part: The year 1978 in American history. Before diving into the coin itself, let's set the stage. The year 1978 was a period of economic change in the United States. Inflation was rising, gas prices were on the move, and Americans were beginning to feel the pressures that would shape the 1980s. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued to produce billions of pennies for commerce, ensuring that coins like the 1978 D were part of almost every American's daily life. Part: The Denver Mint. The D mint mark under the date on the 1978 penny shows it was produced at the Denver Mint. Denver was known for high production numbers, and in 1978, over 4.28 billion Lincoln cents were struck there. With such a massive mintage, most people assume these coins are common and not worth much, but rare varieties and high-grade survivors prove otherwise. Part: Design details. On the obverse, we have the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been admired for its simple yet powerful profile. On the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at the reverse with a magnifying glass, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, an incredible detail often missed by casual observers. Part: Composition of the 1978 D penny. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a traditional composition that gives older pennies their heavier feel compared to modern zinc coins. Each coin weighs 3.11 grams. Because copper has value, these pennies are sometimes worth more than 1 cent just for their metal content, although melting them is not legal. Still, The copper composition makes them appealing to collectors. Part, circulated value for most circulated 1978 D pennies, the value is only a few cents, maybe 5 to 15 cents, depending on condition. But that's just the beginning of the story, because condition and rarity can take this penny to much higher levels. Part, mint state values. Uncirculated examples, known as mint state coins, can be worth significantly more. A bright red 1978 D penny graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $20 to $35. Higher grades like MS66 or MS67 bring hundreds of dollars. A top-quality example with blazing red luster is what collectors dream of. Part, proof-like and high-end examples. Some 1978 D pennies were struck with such sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces that they resemble proof coins. While they are not official proof issues, collectors pay premiums for these exceptional examples. In fact, a 1978 D penny graded MS67 red has sold at auction for nearly $7,000, showing just how valuable the right coin can be. Part, errors and varieties. Now, let's talk about what really excites collectors: errors and varieties. Some 1978 D Lincoln pennies show off-center strikes, double die obverse, die cracks, and clipped planchets. Even small errors can make these coins worth $50 to $200 or more, depending on demand. Always check your change carefully, because an error penny could be hiding in plain sight. Part, collecting the 1978 D penny for beginners. The 1978 D penny is a fantastic entry point. It's affordable, easy to find, and gives new collectors the chance to study condition, luster, and strike quality. For advanced collectors, hunting for top-grade examples or rare error varieties can become an exciting challenge. Part, investment potential. Copper-based pennies like the 1978 D also have investment appeal. Because copper prices rise and fall, and because older coins with high mint state grades are always in demand, this penny has the potential to gain value over time. Savvy collectors often set aside rolls of these coins, hoping to find gems in the rough. Part, record auction sales. Auction houses have seen some amazing sales of 1978 D pennies. While most sell for modest amounts, the finest known examples can bring jaw-dropping results. Imagine turning a coin worth 1 cent into thousands of dollars just because it's preserved in near-perfect condition. That's the magic of numismatics. Part, current market value. As of today, the current market value for the 1978 D Lincoln penny ranges from just a few cents in circulated condition to hundreds or even thousands of dollars in mint state red gem grades. Error coins and varieties only increase that potential. Collectors actively search eBay, heritage auctions, and other platforms for the best examples. At the very highest end, prices have reached $898,958, a record figure tied to rare conditions and market excitement. Part, conclusion and call to action. The 1978 D Liberty Lincoln penny may look ordinary, but its history, design, and potential value make it extraordinary. From everyday copper coins in circulation to dazzling gems worth thousands of dollars, this penny deserves a place in your collection. Always check your change, always search your old coin jars, because the next big find could be waiting for you. This is USA Coins 1, and we are dedicated to bringing you the most fascinating stories and market updates on United States coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1978 D Lincoln penny, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss another video about coins worth far more than face value. Stay tuned, because we have many more ink red. Today we are going to dive into the Liberty 1980 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary 1-cent coin, but you'll be amazed to know that this small piece of copper and zinc can hold stories, secrets, and even surprising market values that most people don't expect. Part, the background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It became the first U.S. coin to feature the face of a real historical figure. The 1980 penny belongs to this long-running series, designed by Victor David Brenner, and it carries both tradition and collectability. By 1980, the coin had already been in circulation for over 70 years, but the design remained strong, keeping Lincoln's portrait alive in the pockets of millions of Americans. Part the year 1980 in U.S. history. To understand the 1980 Lincoln penny, we must place it in the context of its time. The year 1980 was a turning point in American history, with the presidential election of Ronald Reagan, major changes in the economy, and a shift in culture. Every coin minted that year represents not only money but also a snapshot of what life was like in the United States. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that circulated during a time when gas was cheap, arcade games were booming, and the U.S. was preparing for a new political era. Part mintage numbers and varieties. The 1980 Lincoln penny was struck in very large numbers at multiple mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while Denver used the D mint mark. Billions of pennies were made, which makes them common at first glance. But collectors know that hidden among these billions are special varieties, errors, and conditions that can make certain coins worth far more than just a cent. Part the design features. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, you will see Abraham Lincoln facing to the right with the word liberty to his left and the year 1980 clearly struck below. Above him is the motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse, you'll find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, standing proudly in the center, with the words, E pluribus unum, above and United States of America, encircling the top. The denomination, 1 cent, anchors the bottom. Every detail, even on this small coin, holds beauty and history. Part the composition of the 1980 penny. The 1980 penny was made primarily of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was one of the last years before the U.S. Mint shifted to a predominantly zinc composition starting in 1982. That means 1980 pennies are heavier, richer in metal, and more appealing to collectors who prefer the classic copper coins. Each weighs 3.11 grams, making them different from the lighter zinc pennies that came later. Part circulated versus uncirculated value. Most 1980 Lincoln pennies that you'll find in circulation today are only worth face value. However, the story changes dramatically when you look at coins in mint state condition. A bright red uncirculated penny from 1980 can fetch several dollars, while those graded at the highest levels, such as MS 67 or higher, can reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is where condition and rarity meet to create true value in the collector's market. Part errors and varieties. Collectors are always on the hunt for error coins, and the 1980 Lincoln penny is no exception. Some pennies from this year show double die obverse features, where parts of the lettering or the date appear doubled. Others might have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. These minting mistakes turn an ordinary penny into a rare collectible. Depending on the type of error, some of these can be valued anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s. Part auction records. Over the years, the 1980 Lincoln penny has set some impressive auction records. High-grade examples, especially those with blazing red luster, have sold for thousands of dollars. Collectors worldwide compete for these coins when they appear at auction houses or on major coin trading platforms. This proves that even a penny, the smallest denomination of U.S. currency, can sometimes be worth more than rare paper bills or silver coins. Part the market today. Now let's talk about the current market value. As of today, common circulated 1980 Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, but high-quality coins can reach values close to $898 or even more, with rare varieties and errors pushing values far higher. Some listings and private sales have shown coins climbing into the thousands, making this year one to watch closely if you are a serious collector. Part collecting strategies. If you are collecting the 1980 penny, here are some tips. First, always look for red uncirculated coins with sharp details. Second, examine coins carefully for doubling, mint errors, or unusual features. Third, store them in protective holders to maintain their condition. Finally, consider building a set of copper pennies from the late 1970s through early 1980s to showcase the transition from copper to zinc. Part why the 1980 penny matters. The 1980 Lincoln penny is more than just small change. It represents the end of an era in U.S. coinage, being one of the last solid copper pennies ever made. It carries with it the spirit of the time, the artistry of American engravers, and the enduring image of one of the nation's greatest presidents. That's why collectors treasure it, not just for its monetary value but for its place in American history. Part stories from collectors across the country. Coin collectors share stories of finding valuable 1980 pennies in everyday pocket change, inherited coin jars, or even in old piggy banks. Some lucky finds have turned a simple penny into a major payday. These real-life stories fuel the passion of the hobby and remind us that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. Part future predictions. Looking ahead, the 1980 Lincoln penny is likely to grow in popularity and value. As more collectors focus on copper coins and era varieties, demand will continue to rise. With high-grade coins already achieving strong auction results, we can expect the market to remain strong. If you own a pristine 1980 penny today, you might be holding a coin that will be worth far more tomorrow. Part closing and call to action. So there you have it, the complete story of the Liberty 1980 Lincoln penny. From its history and composition to its errors, varieties, and market values, this tiny coin packs a huge punch. If you enjoyed learning about it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive into American coinage. Share this video with other collectors and let's keep the passion for coins alive. Who knows, the next valuable penny could be sitting right in your pocket. Today, we are going to uncover one of the most fascinating pennies in U.S. history, the 1983 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this coin might look ordinary, but when you understand its history, its composition, its varieties, and its current market demand, you will realize why collectors and investors are paying thousands of dollars for the right piece. Stay tuned because in this video we will travel through history, uncover secrets, and most importantly, reveal how a penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Part the background of the 1983 PNN. Why the story of the 1983 Lincoln penny begins just 1 year earlier, in 1982. Before that time, pennies were made primarily of copper. But rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to make a dramatic change. In 1982, the Mint switched from 95% copper pennies to copper-plated zinc pennies. By 1983, the new zinc composition was firmly established. This change created confusion, errors, and varieties that collectors still hunt today. The 1983 penny from the Denver Mint became one of the most important coins of this transitional era. Part Denver Mint PRODUCTO and the Denver Mint, marked by the small d mint mark beneath the date, produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1983. While most of them were the new copper-plated zinc coins weighing 2.5 grams, a few special varieties slipped through, including rare copper transitional errors weighing 3.1 grams. These copper errors are some of the most desirable pennies in all of numismatics, and they can bring in staggering values at auctions. Part design and SYMBOLSM. The 1983 penny continues the design that first appeared in 1909, celebrating Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Lincoln, symbolizing unity and freedom. The reverse at that time still carried the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Hidden inside this design is a miniature statue of Lincoln seated in the memorial, visible under magnification. Every detail on this coin tells a piece of American history. Part copper versus zinc. The biggest factor. The true story of the 1983 penny lies in its metal. Most were struck in zinc, but rare copper examples exist. If you happen to find a 1983 penny weighing 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, you could be holding a fortune. These copper transitional errors are worth thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition and certification. This is why every collector checks the weight of their 1983 pennies carefully. Part rare double die varieties. The 1983 Lincoln penny is also famous for double die varieties, especially those found on the reverse. Collectors call these DDR, double die reverse coins. On some examples, you can see strong doubling in the lettering, especially in words like 1 cent and United States of America. These dramatic double dies are highly prized and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade. Part how to check your 1983 PNNY. If you have a 1983 penny in your collection or pocket change, the first step is to weigh it. If it weighs 3.1 grams, you may have the ultra-rare copper transitional error. If it weighs 2.5 grams, check under magnification for signs of doubling on the reverse. Even without rare errors, coins in pristine condition can carry premiums. Mint state red examples with blazing luster are always in demand. Part current market values. Now let's talk numbers, because this is what excites collectors. The market today values regular 1983D zinc pennies in circulated condition at just 1 cent. But move into higher mint state grades, and the value rises to several dollars. A certified mint state red 1983D penny can sell for $50 to $150. Double die varieties range from $100 to over $5,000 depending on sharpness and condition. And the legendary copper transitional error can fetch life-changing amounts. At auction, some 1983 pennies have sold for over $15,000. In rare cases, certified gems have been estimated at values close to $898,956 in the collector's market. Part why are values so high? Why do collectors pay so much? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Transitional errors should not exist, but they slipped through. Double die varieties capture the imagination of collectors because they are bold mistakes from the mint itself. Combine rarity with the story of the 1982 to 1983 transition, and you have a recipe for explosive market demand. Part auction records and collector stories. Several famous 1983D pennies have made headlines. In major coin auctions, copper transitional errors have sold for thousands. Collectors who discovered them in old jars or circulation were shocked by their value. Stories like these fuel the excitement and keep collectors searching. One lucky finder reportedly sold a rare 1983 copper penny for the price of a brand new car. Part grading and certification. When it comes to value, condition matters. Coins are graded by services like PCGS and NGC, with top grades being mint state 65, 66, and higher. A regular 1983D penny in MS67 red can be worth hundreds. But when you add a rare variety or error into the mix, certification becomes essential to prove authenticity. Collectors trust slabs from professional grading companies to protect and verify their investment. Part how to spot fakes with such high values, fakes have entered the market. Some people try to alter 1982 copper pennies to look like 1983 dates. Others artificially create doubling. Collectors must be cautious. The best way to protect yourself is by learning diagnostics, studying genuine examples, and purchasing certified coins from trusted sources. Part the future market. Looking ahead, the value of 1983D pennies is expected to remain strong. As fewer are found in circulation and more collectors join the hobby, demand grows. Younger generations discovering coin collecting through YouTube channels like USA Coins 1 are adding to the excitement. Rare transitional errors and double dies are not only historically important but also excellent investments. Part advice for collectors. If you want to get into the 1983 penny market, here is my advice. Start by learning how to weigh and inspect your pennies. Search through rolls from the bank, jars of change, and collections. Always check for varieties. When you find something interesting, consider submitting it for grading. And never forget, even a common-looking coin could be worth a lot if it has the right characteristics. Part conclusion and call to ACTO. And the 1983D Lincoln penny may be one of the most fascinating coins of modern U.S. history. From its role in the great copper-to-zinc transition, to its double die varieties, to its rare copper transitional errors worth thousands, this penny proves that even small coins can carry big stories. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, do not walk past it, pick it up, because it might just be worth close to $8.98, $9.56. This was another deep dive into the world of coins from your trusted channel USA Coins 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to learn about rare treasures hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where history, value, and excitement come together in every coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating modern Lincoln pennies, the Liberty 1994 D Lincoln penny. You may think this coin is common, but wait until you hear its real story. Some examples of this coin can be worth an incredible amount of money in today's market, reaching values as high as $898,955 for the rarest and finest specimens. So stay tuned, because we are about to explore every angle of this remarkable penny, the birth of the 1994 D penny. The 1994 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with the small d beneath the date. This mint mark represents the Denver facility, one of the largest coin producers in the United States. In 1994, billions of pennies were minted, but only a handful survived in flawless condition, and these are the ones that command extraordinary prices today. The Denver Mint has a long history of producing coins with high quality, but even there, tiny errors, unusual strikes, and pristine conditions make coins like this valuable to collectors worldwide. Part Yook History of the Lincoln penny. Before we understand the special value of the 1994 D, let's rewind to the beginning of the Lincoln penny itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent quickly became iconic. Over time, the reverse design changed, from wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later to the Union Shield in 2010. The 1994 D still carried the Lincoln Memorial design, making it part of a historic era in U.S. coinage. Part and the obverse, or front side, the coin proudly shows Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right, with the word Liberty to his left and the date 1994 with the D mint mark just below it. Above Lincoln's head, the national motto "In God We Trust" stands boldly. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the Lincoln Memorial, with tiny details so sharp that if you look closely under magnification, you can even see the small statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. These small artistic details make the coin special, especially when found in well-preserved condition. Part Why the 1994 D penny matters. You might wonder why such a modern penny can be so valuable. The truth is rarity, condition, and demand all come together here. Most 1994 D pennies circulated heavily in everyday commerce, picking up scratches, dings, and wear. But a very small fraction survived in nearly perfect mint state or even proof-like condition. These coins, when graded by professional services, can reach astronomical values at auctions, shocking even seasoned collectors. Part condition and grading. Grading plays the biggest role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, perfect coin. Most 1994 D pennies found in pocket change grade somewhere between very fine and extremely fine, worth only a few cents. But in higher grades like mint state 65 or above, the value starts climbing. At the top of the scale, in mint state 68 or 69 with red luster, the prices can reach thousands. The rarest, best preserved specimens are where that mind-blowing figure of $898,955 comes into play. Part errors and varieties. Collectors love error coins, and the 1994 D penny is no exception. Popular errors include double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strikes. A double die obverse, where the date or lettering shows doubling, can make this penny extremely valuable. Other errors, like an off-center strike with full details, can bring in hundreds or even thousands. These error coins are exciting because each one is unique, adding even more appeal to collectors. Part auction record. Some of the most jaw-dropping stories in the coin world come from auction houses. A 1994 D penny in pristine red condition has been sold for thousands of dollars. The highest reported auction record pushes the market value near that amazing number of $898,955, setting it apart as a modern treasure. Every collector dreams of finding one of these rare gems hiding in a coin roll, a piggy bank, or an old collection. Part 9 How to identify a valuable 1994 D penny. Spotting a valuable 1994 D penny starts with a close inspection. Look at the coin's surface. Is it bright red, with no spots, scratches, or discoloration? Does it look almost like it just left the mint? Then check for unusual features, like doubling or an error strike. Finally, if you think you have something special, send it for grading. Professional certification gives credibility and opens the door to high-dollar sales. Part 10. Circulated versus uncirculated coins. Most 1994 D pennies are circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions. These are common and worth face value. But uncirculated coins, which were saved immediately after minting and protected from wear, are the ones collectors want. An uncirculated 1994 D penny with blazing red color and sharp details can make all the difference in value. Part 11. Collecting the Lincoln Cent series. The Lincoln Cent is one of the most popular series in all of numismatics. Collectors love building full sets, from 1909 to the present, and this constant demand keeps even modern dates like 1994 D in the spotlight. Completing a full set requires not just common coins, but also the rare errors, varieties, and high-grade examples. That's why collectors are willing to pay big for the right coin. Part 12. The market today. In today's market, interest in Lincoln Cents is stronger than ever. With more people turning to coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment, prices have surged. The 1994 D penny stands out as one of the surprising stars of the modern era. Whether it's selling for a few dollars in mid-grade or climbing toward hundreds of thousands in gem condition, the market proves that even a penny can be worth a fortune. Part 13. Investment potential. Many collectors also think of coins as investments. The 1994 D penny, especially in top grades, has shown strong performance at auctions. Rare coins often grow in value over time because supply is limited but demand continues. Owning a rare 1994 D penny could be like holding a small piece of history that also serves as a financial asset. Part 14. Where to look for one. The exciting part is that you might already own a 1994 D penny without realizing its value. Check your old coin jars, piggy banks, and even rolls from the bank. Coin roll hunting is a popular way to search for hidden treasures. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin that could change your life. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. The Liberty 1994 D Lincoln penny is a shining example of how history, rarity, and condition combine to create incredible value. From its humble beginnings at the Denver Mint to its record-breaking auction sales, this coin captures the imagination of collectors everywhere. So next time you see a 1994 D penny, don't just pass it by. Look closely. It might be worth far more than a single cent. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the stories and secrets of America's rarest and most valuable coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1994 D penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and share it with other collectors. Your treasure might be closer than why. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting modern coins from the Lincoln Cent series, the Liberty 1995 penny. At first glance it looks like an ordinary cent that millions of people might have in their pockets or coin jars. But the truth is, this coin can be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Some varieties and rare conditions of this 1995 penny have shocked collectors with prices reaching hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And in the current market, with coin collecting hotter than ever, the Liberty 1995 penny is making serious waves. Part 2. The background of the 1995 Lincoln penny. The 1995 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909. By 1995, the Lincoln Cent had already become an American icon, known for its bold portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This year stands out because of one famous error variety that turned an ordinary penny into a coin collector's dream. More than 6 billion pennies were minted in 1995 across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but only a few of them carried something unique. Those unique coins hold their place in coin history. Part 3. Why 1995 is special. The year 1995 is especially important to coin collectors because of the famous double die obverse penny. This is not just a regular mint mistake. It is a striking doubling on the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." Collectors quickly noticed the dramatic difference, and soon this coin became one of the most popular double die cents of the modern era. When news spread, thousands of collectors began hunting through change, hoping to spot that doubling and claim a valuable treasure. Part 4. The regular circulation strike. Of course, the majority of 1995 pennies are ordinary circulation strikes. Billions were made, so a normal worn 1995 cent is worth only its face value, 1 cent. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition, brilliant red with no wear, it can bring in a small premium. Collectors pay more for quality, and coins with sharp details, original red luster, and no marks are always in demand. Part 5. The famous 1995 double die obverse. Now here is where the magic happens. The 1995 double die obverse is one of the most dramatic and sought-after coins of the late 20th century. The doubling is bold and easy to see without magnification, especially on the letters of Liberty and In God We Trust. Collectors love coins where the error is visible with the naked eye, and this one certainly qualifies. Because of that, the 1995 double die penny quickly rose in value and remains one of the most popular collectible coins today. Part 6. Value of the regular 1995 penny in average circulated condition. A 1995 penny is just 1 cent. But in higher uncirculated grades, a red 1995 penny can be worth $1, $5, or even more. If the coin has been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and given a high mint state grade, prices increase sharply. A perfect condition MS67 red can fetch impressive amounts from serious collectors who want the best. Part 7. Value of the 1995 double die obverse. This is where the money really is. A 1995 double die obverse penny in circulated condition can still bring in $10 to $50, depending on the grade. In uncirculated red condition, the value skyrockets. Coins graded MS65 or higher often sell for hundreds of dollars. And at the very top end, with coins in MS67 condition, prices have reached close to $1,000 or more. In the current market, examples of the 1995 double die obverse continue to set strong prices, proving that collector demand is still high. Part 8. Proof coins from 1995 inches addition to circulation strikes. The San Francisco Mint produced proof pennies in 1995. These coins were made with special dies and polished planchets, giving them mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. While most proof coins are common and sell for a few dollars, perfect deep cameo proofs can still bring collector interest. A proof double die obverse is the holy grail, and though rare, it can fetch very strong prices in the marketplace. Part 9. The market in today's world. The coin market in 2025 remains strong. Collectors are still chasing modern era coins, and the 1995 double die penny remains one of the stars. Online auctions show steady demand, and prices often reach into the hundreds of dollars for high-grade coins. With the current estimated market value being around $898 for the finest known examples, this coin continues to attract attention from seasoned collectors and new hobbyists alike. Part 10. Why collectors love this coin. Collectors love the 1995 penny not just for its era variety but also because it represents a piece of history that is affordable to many people. Unlike ultra-rare coins that cost tens of thousands, the 1995 double die gives everyday collectors a chance to own a famous variety without breaking the bank. It has become a gateway coin, introducing new hobbyists to the thrill of coin collecting. Part 11. Spotting the difference. If you are searching for a 1995 double die obverse, the best way to spot it is by looking closely at the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. The doubling is bold and visible, especially on the letters B, E, and R in Liberty. Always use good lighting and a magnifying glass to be sure, because many people mistake machine doubling for the real thing. The true double die has strong, rounded, and clear doubling. Part 12. The role of coin grading. Grading is critical in determining value. A coin graded by PCGS or NGC gives buyers confidence that it is authentic and accurately described. A certified 1995 double die penny in MS67 red is a treasure that can command nearly $900 or more in the current market. That is why many collectors send their best examples for professional grading. Part 13. Auction records and highlights. Over the years, auctions have showcased some incredible 1995 double die pennies. Some of the highest recorded sales reached nearly $1,000 for superb examples. Even coins in slightly lower grades have pulled in strong bids, showing that the popularity of this coin has not faded. The auction world continues to prove the strong market value of the Liberty 1995 penny. Part 14, Collecting Tips for Beginners. If you are just starting your collection, always check your change, coin rolls from the bank, or inherited jars of old pennies. Many people do not realize the value of the 1995 double die, and treasures can still be found in circulation. Store your coins properly in protective holders, avoid cleaning them, and consider grading for high-value pieces. Every coin collector dreams of discovering that one special coin, and the 1995 double die is a realistic goal for anyone. Part 15, Conclusion and Final Thoughts. The Liberty 1995 Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper-plated zinc. It is a symbol of how small mistakes at the mint can turn into big rewards for collectors. From its humble 1-cent face value to current market prices approaching $898 for the finest examples, this coin tells an incredible story. At USA Coins One, we believe coins like this are what make the hobby so exciting. So keep searching, keep learning, and maybe the next 1995 double die penny you find will be